Channel 2, English. Channel 2, English. Channel 2, English.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the S&D press conference. I hand over to our group president, Iratxe, García, Perez, and then there's time for your questions. Merci.
Thank you, Tan. Good morning, everybody.
Well, this month we have seen the 3-year anniversary of this brutal war in Ukraine. We've seen the attempt by Russia to destroy Ukraine's sovereignty. The first official mission in this parliamentary term was to Ukraine. And, of course, what happens in Ukraine is going to be something that has an impact on the destiny of Europe. We're coming up in the context of Ukraine with a legal proposal for the Russian assets to be frozen, and also this we're looking at long-distance arms being sold to Ukraine. We are drafting or have drafted a declaration demonstrating our absolute steadfast support for Ukraine at the Conference of Presidents. Since Navalny was assassinated, and that's a year ago, we're continuing to reiterate our approach to Russia. And this week is going to continue with important discussions, and we're going to see what happens over the next few weeks in the European Union. There are going to be changes in the future, I think. In terms of the work of the European Commission, I think that it is important that we as socialists determine our position. You know that last week we celebrated a workday event and we wanted to demonstrate what our priorities are vis-à-vis the Commission's work programme. We want to be ambitious and we want to be able to face the new events that are coming upon us on a daily basis. We have the competitiveness compass, and we put forward economic questions, and we also looked at the proposal in terms of the social commitments for Europe, which for us are very important, and also the budgetary proposals, which of course we have to move forward on. We have to be ambitious for Europe. We need to invest, and for that we need resources. So we hope that von der Leyen, when presenting this work programme of the Commission, is going to be ambitious. And we hope that we're going to get a social compass. We do have a competitiveness compass, but we also want this work programme to entail a social compass. We're talking about quality jobs, fair pay, health, and I think it's important, too, that we look at our environment, because Europe is a unique model in the world. We can do things economically, and economic growth should translate into social well-being, proper public services, quality health services. And we cannot allow ourselves to see any reversal of workers' rights, nor any reversal of our social achievements. We have not just NGOs, immigrants, legislation, the message that we're seeing from the extreme right. And sometimes we see the EPP really going hand in hand with what they're saying. We have to look at what we are doing. What we are doing in creating the European project. They're looking for problems, they're looking for issues, they're looking for people, groups of people, whom they are saying threaten Europe. And immigrants are not the threat to Europe, not the NGOs, not the Green Deal. And we, as S&Ds, have to ensure that we don't take a simple step backwards. We have to realize that if we start with immigrants, then we move on to others. We move on to women. We move on to jeopardizing the rule of law. We have to say loud and constructively that our message is positive, that we have a lot of challenges and we are going to cooperate to construct a proper Europe through the Europe agenda. We don't want to destroy. And in the topical debate, we put forward a question on the cooperation between conservative leaning politicians and the extreme right, which we feel is a threat to Europe. We're not going to be stronger with these dangerous turns that they're taking. We have to realize that the best economic development in the world was also possible through immigration as well. We need to underscore the importance of the US as one of our major trade partners. And this is why here and now we are talking about trade policy and tariffs. We in our group are ready to maintain a good commercial relationship with the US, provided it is open and of mutual benefit. Because if you want to be an ally, you need to continue as an ally, but not at any cost. Now we're seeing 25% tariffs being put on aluminium and steel. And this is going to raise prices for companies and for ordinary people. If we have a president who is imposing unfair tariffs, we need to respond very quickly as Europeans, and also we ourselves need to impose tariffs on purchases of European products. We have to defend democratic values, the rule of law, our democratic values, and our environmental policy. We are a model for the world. And the model of the populists, the extreme right, the digital autocrats who are imposing regulation and who are moving backwards in the social contracts. This is something we have to be aware of. And as social democrats, we have to demonstrate that there is a different approach, that we in Europe need responsible people governing us. They need to be steady, they need to be strong, and they also need to be ambitious to ensure that the social agenda, the green agenda, the agenda of human rights is something that we continue on. So now, I'd just like to point out that on Friday, there's going to be a mission for our socialist group to the Near East, to Egypt, Palestine, and Lebanon. And I think that this is an important juncture. We're seeing at the moment that there is a high risk in the region. It's important that we stop this unjustified war, and I think that the European Union has to have a strong and firm approach. And this is why we as Social and Democrats are committing ourselves to peace. We need to find a proper solution, a solution which will bring an end to this totally unjustified war, and which has adversely affected the lives of so many people in this part of the world. I think it's important that we actually go there, support people. We talk to various institutions, we talk to governments, we talk to people there, so that we can pass on our message that we are going to continue our steady and firm support for those people. Thank you very much. Questions?
Yes, thanks. Diego Velasquez with the Luxembourg Wort. Thanks for the floor. You said it yourself, and you said it in a press release last week. The competitiveness compass, and as well as the working program from the Commission, don't look too good from a socialist point of view. And yeah, indeed, I don't see a lot of your priorities in it. I see a lot of deregulation, and I don't see a lot of investment or social. So my question is, do you already regret voting for this Commission in November? Or put otherwise, what did the socialists get so far from the Commission in their announcements?
We want to play a constructive role, and we want to build this pro-European strong alliance here in the Parliament to work with the European Commission. Because, of course, we cannot have the same position in all different issues, but we want to make our work, and we want to influence the Commission work program and the different legislative proposals that the European Commission has to present. Our priorities are very clear, and what we want to do now is to negotiate with other pro-European political forces here in the Parliament, and to send and to offer our cooperation to the European Commission, trying to build a common proposal with the common challenges. Maybe it will be difficult in some moments to have this common position, but it's a very important challenge that we have in this moment. We know how difficult will be now the different majorities here in the Parliament, but in any case, we offer our cooperation, we offer our constructive role, and we want to work and to negotiate with other political forces, with the EPP, with Renew, with Greens, with the idea to have a common position to negotiate with the European Commission.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Oui, hello, Pauline Froissart from AFP News Agency. I've got a question about the experiment to have more MEPs during debates, with not revealing in advance the list of speakers. Do you think it's a good initiative? Have you seen any improvements last session when it was experimented? And do you think changes must be implemented to to improve debates and to make debates more lively and with more MEPs? Thank you.
It's a discussion that we have in different levels, in the COP, in the Bureau of the Parliament. We want to try to do more attractive and to guarantee more present during the debates in the plenary. And I think that we are testing, we are seeing how can we do it. Last month and this month, I think that it's a good opportunity to check and to see if it's possible to change some formats and procedures. Last plenary session, we could see more presence and more feedback during the debate. But in any case, it's something that we are testing. Our group is open to check and to try to do it. Citizens need to see that we are here discussing about their problems, and we are trying to do more attractive these debates. The only question that we are asking is to guarantee the political balance, of course, because one thing is don't present the official list of the speakers, but at the same time, we need to guarantee that our group and other groups will be represented in this plenary with a good balance. This is the only question, but in any case, we are checking and we will see if we can continue or we can try to introduce other ideas. We are working on it.
Yes, please. Politico.
Max Griera for Politico. I understand you and others complained during the Conference of Presidents for the lack of appearances by the High Representative Kaja Kallas. I was wondering, and I also understand that Metsola had conveyed this message. I was wondering if you have received any answer from her on whether she will show up in the future. That would be the first one. Second one, perhaps could you explain us a bit what were the conclusions of the Genval retreat, especially the discussions you had on how to approach the far right? Will you have some sort of document like Renew? Is the door a bit more open to ECR, to Fratelli d'Italia, and so on? Thank you.
About High Representative, I don't have any response about the question. Of course, I asked for it to Metsola in the Conference of Presidents. We have interinstitutional agreement between the Parliament and the European Commission. It's the second time where the High Representative is not here in the Parliament with important debates, and we need to understand that really always the foreign policy was important, but in this moment with the trade wars and other important issues, I think that it's more necessary than ever to have this opportunity to exchange with the High Representative, and we would like to insist on it. For this reason, we ask to Metsola, and we hope that in the next plenary sessions we can have these opportunities. It's very important. About Genval and our discussion with the Cordon Sanitaire, of course, we had this discussion. We are working with one strategy that is not only about the Cordon Sanitaire, it's not only to block the cooperation with the extreme right, because, of course, what we need really is to cooperate with the pro-European political forces, and we need to organize this cooperation between the groups. And we try to explain that we want to work with them, as I explained, with the APP, Renew, and Greens, trying to have a common platform, and at the same time our position with the extreme right, the no cooperation with patriots, with sovereignists, and in the case with ECR, as we explained before that, we will check case by case at the committee level. We know that in the different committees there are different positions, but in any case we will pay attention in ECR. And what we want to do is to have a common position about this cordon sanitaire between the pro-European political forces. This is very important, and we will discuss with the other groups to see if it's possible to have this common position.
Two more questions, and then we have to close. One here, and then afterwards you.
Monsieur El Mali, journaliste de la télévision.
I'm from the Kurdish television. There are two debates this afternoon talking about the Middle East. The second one is looking at the elected mayors in Turkey. For the last 15 years in Turkey, there's been this practice in place where mayors have been made destitute and put in prison. I'm wondering, what do you think about that? With this and with Syria, there seems to be some kind of analogy being made. I'm just wondering, what do you think of the situation in Turkey? Thank you.
Con respecto a Siria.
With Syria, as we've said in various places and at various times, we think that we need to move to a transition process towards democracy, and we feel that the EU should play a key role there. That can't be done overnight. Of course, we are going to need to make a lot of effort to ensure that this transition to democracy is successful. And on the other issue that you raised, our position has always been clear that the rule of law and democracy are crucial.
You, Daniel Weber with the Luxembourg Public Radio. Just a quick question on the working program regarding the omnibus proposals. Are you afraid that considering what we know so far, are you afraid that the Green Deal might be weakened by any of these proposals? And can you maybe specify where your concerns lie? Thank you.
Yeah, there are a lot of debates about the omnibus. Nobody knows really what will be in the omnibus law. We have to wait for it, and we are hoping to work before that with the European Commission. But in any case, there are a lot of sound about the deregulation. EPP and Extreme Right are speaking a lot about deregulation. You know our position about this. We are totally against. We support the simplification, of course, to reduce the bureaucracy, of course, and we will be open to negotiate everything that can reduce the bureaucracy and can work in the simplification way. But never, never reducing our goals, our Green Deal goals, our social goals, and this will be our position. In any case, we are starting now the work, but I'm insisting that our position is very clear. I don't know at the end what the European Commission will present, but in any case, our responsibility here as a group is try to negotiate with other groups, and we will try to influence in this negotiation to guarantee that we can keep our ambition in the Green Deal and in the social agenda. We will try to insist how important is the investment, and for this reason we need to speak and to debate. This is not for omnibus, but for the future, about the MFF and the European budget, and this is our responsibility as a group.
Thank you very much, Iratxe García Perez, and thank you everybody for joining. Merci.